everybody, welcome in. It's Feel Good Friday. Who's excited? I am excited. I've got a huge show. There are so many fun things in today's show. I cannot wait to show you all of them. Guys, this show is packed with 10 new items. 10. I very rarely have that much in one show. It's not all kits, so don't think you're going to be here for the next 2 hours. It may be a long show, but it's not going to be because of that. Because you guys, I have makers mixes that I have not done in a very, very long time. I have 2 maker mixes, 2 earrings parties, and then the rest of it are kits. I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to showing you everything that's in the show because you guys have been requesting the Halloween stuff, and I get it. I understand why. It's because you don't want to wait until the last minute to get these Halloween kits or Halloween bead mixes. You want to be able to use these right now and create pieces of jewelry that you can enjoy for the entire month of October instead of just the last minute and then putting it away and getting it back out next year. So I totally get that, understand it, and I am very, very happy to oblige. So anybody who likes Halloween, I got you covered going forward the next probably 3 weeks. So today, next Friday, and the Friday after that, I think I have enough Halloween stuff to fill up those shows. And it's not going to be all strictly Halloween. As you'll see with today's show, I have some other items as well. So if Halloween is not your thing, that's okay. I've still got things that are fun and pretty and exciting to look at. So that's what you can expect for the next few Fridays here on our Feel Good Friday shows. Before we get into that, though, I do want to say hello to everybody. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Gina. Jan is here. Marsha's here. Hello, hello. Hi, Miss Wendy and Laurie and Miss Mary. Hi, Jennifer. Margaret. Guys, listen, hi, Miss Carol. If you would be so kind as to set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon, I will be live over on artbeads.com with another fun project for you guys. Today we're putting together necklaces using the cushion rounds, which is my new obsession, and top drill beads. Really beautiful pieces of jewelry that I'm going to be showing you guys using those kinds of beads. So I'd love for you to come and hang out with me over there if you would like a second dose of me today. All right, now let's get into it. It is our Feel Good Friday show, my very favorite day of the week. Feel Good Friday is all about fun and easy instant gratification jewelry. Everything that we do here on a Feel Good Friday show is available for purchase as a kit in my Etsy shop. My team is here in the comments section dropping links to each one of the kits that you will see. That makes it really easy for you to shop on those. However, if you would like to just go over to my Etsy shop, you can browse at your leisure. You'll find the kits from today as well as kits from previous Feel Good Friday shows. And you will also find finished pieces of jewelry from myself and from my teenage daughter, who has become a little maker herself. So all kinds of fun things over in my Etsy shop. Just come hang out in there and maybe you'll find something. I mean, you never know with kits. It's funny with the kits because there are kits from previous Feel Good Friday shows. And very, very often, I would say very often, but maybe 3 times, 4 times a year, I will go through the kits that are remaining and I will look at what leftover inventory there is. And if there are extra kits or there were pieces of kits that I couldn't make a full kit out of, but now I have the pieces. Sometimes those past kits that have sold out, 1 or 2 of them will pop up in the shop. So it's always a good idea to check back because you never know when an old kit might just reemerge. And when that happens, it's usually just 1 or 2. But still, if you missed it the first time, you never know when it might pop up the second time. So check the shop. You never know. All right, so here on our Feel Good Friday shows with our kits that we put together, everything here is, I don't want to say, well, I will say it, they're easy. Everything we do on Fridays is easy. We focus on our basic skills and techniques. We don't do anything hard. We don't. We make beautiful pieces of jewelry that don't represent every skill or technique that we know because we don't need to do that. Sometimes beautiful pieces of jewelry just need to be put together with our basics. So we focus on those. Simple stringing, simple wire. So like your simple loops and your wrapped loops, simple knotting, things like that. We don't do anything hard here on Feel Good Fridays because I want you to go into the weekend feeling good, feeling inspired, and know that you can go into your own stash while you wait for me to ship your kits to you. And you can also create beautiful pieces of jewelry with your basic skills. And it doesn't need to feel like you got to show off. You got to show off everything you've ever learned. You don't have to do that. We don't do that here on Fridays. So that's what we got going on today. I'm going to get you guys turned around because, like I said, this is a loaded show. We're going to start out with maker mixes, small batches of beady goodness, things I don't have enough of to create entire kits out of, but I want to share those with you anyway. So I have 2 maker mixes, 2 earrings parties, and then we'll get into the kits with all of the findings. So I'm going to turn you around and we're going to get right into it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's do it, y'all. All right, so maker mix for you guys. I have 2. The first one is our little Toadstool Maker mix. Super cutie. So this one is loaded up with beautiful check glass beads. There are check glass flowers. There are check glass leaves. There's a beautiful enamel pendant here with mushrooms on it. There is a check glass frog bead. There's some check glass hearts. Really, really pretty, nice little fall color palette. I really, really enjoy this one. And like I said, we haven't done a maker mix in a long time. So if you're not familiar with the maker mixes, it's just a mix of beads. Just like I said, it's just a mix of beady goodness. And they are made to inspire you to get creative, to come up with your own designs. And then you can post pictures of whatever you make. With these, there are no limits. You can you can mix in things from your own stash. You can buy 2 or 3 of them and mix them together. You can do whatever you want to. You get to do all the creating here. But I loved this color palette. Super cute, really nice for fall. And I do love the little froggy. He is just adorable. So cute. Little check glass frog. All right, so that's our first maker mix. Our second maker mix is Halloween inspired. This one is called Scaredy Cat. This one is a really cute black and white mix with a lot of check glass beads. We've got an enamel cat wearing a sheet because this is a little spooky kitty cat. Some really cool selenite beads in here that have circles on them, which I thought were really interesting. All check glass here or lava. So check glass, lava, and selenite. Really, really cool. I love this little pendant, you guys. It's super cute. Lots of cats and bats this Halloween. I think you're going to be seeing in home decor as well as in jewelry. So you're definitely going to be seeing it from me. But super cute. I love it. He's so cutie. And of course, a little black and white bead collection to go with. Could be a her. Doesn't have to be him, but it's a cutie little ghost cat. So there you go. There is our 2 maker mixes for the week. All right, going to sit this one to the side. And now we're going to look at our earrings parties. Now, earrings parties are different. You guys know earrings parties are different than maker mixes in that these are focused strictly on bead pairs. Maker mixes, they're not all pairs. But the earrings parties are. So there are pairs of everything or more. So this one is all about Rhodonite, which I love. It's beautiful. It's pink, it's gray, it's black. It's all of those beautiful things together. And this one has some beautiful metal beads in here, check glass beads, some check glass pearls, as well as more of the Rhodonite in round bead shape. So you can get creative with these. And because it's all in pairs, that means that you can create little sets of earrings. The goal here is to create 6 sets of earrings or more, or it could be less if you like do bead heavy earrings, but you could create all kinds of fun things here. There are check fire polish beads in here as well. The color palette here is gray and pink and black. You're going to see gray and pink again in the show. So if you like this, there's a bracelet that I'm going to show you guys later that would match or pair with this really, really nicely. So if this is a color palette you really enjoy, stick around because I'm going to show you some more jewelry that would look really beautiful with this. This one also has some faceted rondelles in it as well. I'm a big fan of Rhodonite. I have a lot of it in my personal stash, and I have so much of it that I can share it with you guys. So super cool. All right. Yes, absolutely. Bonnie says, I love the earrings party items because you can make a necklace or a bracelet with them if you don't want to do earrings. Absolutely. And it's really cool that you get more than one of a lot of the beads because you can create symmetry, because I know not everybody likes asymmetrical designs, but you can definitely do some really cool symmetrical designs because you've got an even number of all of the beads that are included. Super cool. All right. Next one that I have for you guys. This is another earrings party. This one is classic spooky. So this one is just classic Halloween. In those classic colors, you have the black, orange, purple, and green. I love this one. It's a whole lot of fun. There are some little cat eye stars in here in both green and orange. There are some Swarovski cubes in orange. There are some metal bat charms, which are super cute. I love those. And then the rest of this is just amazing check glass in gorgeous colors. So you've got bright pops of orange. You've got some black. You have some little cat eye black, really fun neon greens, and pops of purple. So if you like classic Halloween colors, this is a cool one. It really, really is a fun one. I like the bats, maybe with the orange. And then I also like the stars, like stack those up. Oh, no. Purple. These need purple. Let me pop a little purple underneath them. So you can create fun pairs of earrings, or you can do just like Bonnie said and create a necklace or a bracelet using all of the beady goodness. Super fun. Very, very cute. All right. So that was our other earrings party. And again, all pairs or more. I mean, like the little melons and things like there's more than just two, but it is an even number. So you can very easily create lots of earrings with these. All right. Moving on to our actual kits with the findings. Now, as I mentioned, I have a little bit of everything in today's show. There are some Halloween pieces, of course, but I also have some other pieces of jewelry as well. So we're going to start out with our Smoky Rose bracelet. This is a style that you guys always go crazy over. And as a matter of fact, I had somebody reach out to me on Etsy the other day and said, hey, I love this style. I know you do it a lot. Could you do another one, please? Because every time you put these kits in the shop, I don't get one. I always am late to the party. So we are going to put this together. You guys are going to recognize the pattern because the style is one that, like I said, we do very often. And I'm glad about it because it's absolutely beautiful. So let me lay it out for you so you can recognize what we're doing here. So we have a tiara cast connector here. It's a 3-ring connector, which makes it very easy for us to do a 2-strand design and then bring it down to a single strand design, which is one of my favorite ways to use these. So we are going to create 2 beaded chain sections, one on each, each one of our little loops here. And this is what they look like. So they have some beautiful gray check fire polish. There are also some check glass lampwork beads in gorgeous gray with beautiful pink roses on them, and then some rosy colored check fire polish to go with it. So we're going to create 2 gorgeous strands to create a lot of length here for our bracelet. We're also going to do, if I can pull everything out here, we're also going to do a little cluster with some of those beautiful check fire polish rose colored beads. And we are also, that's what this little pile is for a little cluster that we're going to put together. Just kind of lay all this out so we know what we've got going on here. These for our cluster. And then over here, we're going to bring this down to a single strand with a check cushion round and a large check fire polish in rose color. So this is the bracelet that we're going to be putting together. So pretty. And I was more than happy to put this one together for you guys. All right. So as you can see, using a lot of eye pins here and So this strand is already done for us. So we're going to use this as our model for the second strand. Starts out with 3 of the check fire polish in gray on eye pins. We're going to break that up a little bit with our beautiful lamp work, and then 4 of the check fire polish on the other side. 3 of these are already done. 4 of them are linked together. We need to do this little section right here, and then we will put it all together. So we're going to take an eye pin. We're just doing simple loops on all of them. We're going to thread on a metal bead, a check fire polish in this gorgeous rose color, and then we're going to do a bead cap. Look at these bead caps. They're so nice. Look how pretty. They're very, very pretty. Antique silver color. And then our lamp work, that I just threw in my lap. So there's our lamp work bead, another bead cap, check fire polish, and a metal bead. All right, so using simple loops to connect everything together. So let's make a simple loop on this side. All right, so we're going to grab the wire where it is exiting our last bead, and we are going to give that a bend. And then we're going to come in with our cutter tool, which I have misplaced. Here we go. And we're going to trim off, leaving ourselves about 1/4 of an inch of wire. And then we're going to use our round nose pliers to grab that wire and roll back to create our simple loop. The simple loops can be opened and closed to connect these to other things. So we're going to go ahead and open the loop that we just made, and we'll go ahead and connect it to our little section of 4 check fire polish. You'll notice there's no jump rings in between them. They're all connected via those eye pins, okay, with simple loops on all of them. And then the same thing on the other side. We're going to open up our simple loop, and we're going to thread on one of our check fire polish, close that back, move up to the next, open our loop, and we just twist the loops open like we would a jump ring. Don't pull it apart this direction. You don't want to pull it out. You want to twist and walk it open so that you can walk it closed. That is going to help maintain that round shape of the loop so that you don't distort it, because you may never be able to get it back into that shape. So you're going to link all of those together. So pretty, so pretty. All right, now we are going to wire wrap these guys right here. So this one you can see is the large rose colored fire polish on an eye pin with 2 metal beads. And we're going to do this one as well, our cushion round. So another eye pin with a metal bead, our cushion round, and then another metal bead. Simple loop on this one as well. So we're just going to bend the wire, come in with our cutter, trim, and then again round nose pliers to grab that wire to roll back to create our loop. All right, now we are going to connect these 2 together. So that loop that I just created, I'm going to twist to open, thread on my check fire polish, and twist to close on that one. So I need to be sure that my loops here stay closed. Okay, so that is going to go onto that side. So we are going to start connecting all of this together. We are going to take a jump ring. Actually, yeah, we'll go ahead and do the jump rings on this side. So we're going to take a jump ring. I was trying to save my jump rings because I wanted to be sure I knew which ones to use for the cluster, but I don't think it matters. So we're going to open up a jump ring, and we are going to connect that to that top loop on our tiara cast connector. Okay, and we're going to close that back. Okay, and then we're going to use some jump rings to connect our strands to this as well. So jump ring on that side. And then go ahead and add your beaded chain to one of them. Close that back. You're going to do the same thing on the other one. I love your question. I love your question. Hang on just a second. And I'm going to address that because I love that, because I have a tiny wrist. So I understand all of those things, those issues. All right. So that's what we've got so far. And this is a really good bracelet to kind of talk about that. So here was the comment / question. Sarah, I love that your kits are very inclusive and fit a variety of sizes. And my wrist is a 6-inch, and I'm curious how you would adjust the length to fit since you are a tiny wrist as well. Yes, I am. All right. So that is a great question. And for a bracelet like this, the first stop for me is always going to be jump rings. It's always going to be jump rings. So where I have put in the jump rings, like right here, these little jump rings that are connecting our chain to our connector, I could just as easily leave this little jump ring out and open up the simple loop here on the piece and connect it to the connector with the simple loop instead of the jump ring. That is going to save me a little bit of space. Same thing here. I can take this jump ring out right here and connect using the simple loop to the connector and skip that altogether. On the other end, I always try to add a couple of extra jump rings. You can just leave those off. You can just leave those off. Just use one. If I have two, just use one. Or if you need to make an even larger length adjustment, this is an asymmetrical design, which I love. I like the 3 and 4, but if you needed to leave off the 4th bead and just do 3 and 3 to make it a smaller bracelet, you absolutely could. So I try very hard to make it as inclusive as I possibly can. I always make the bracelets a little on the long side with things like jump rings that you can always take away. So there's always going to be an opportunity to do that. Another opportunity, if you need it even smaller, is you can always come in and remove the metal beads. The metal beads, they can go. They're nice, they're cute, but they're not absolutely necessary. And if that is just the right amount of space that you need to make it the right size for you, take them out. And maybe you don't want to take them out right here. Take them out over here, right? They don't have to be there. But they are there, and they're there to create length, to create a little extra metal pop, but they can just as easily be removed, and you're not changing the main design too much. So that was a great question. Great question. Okay, so we're going to make a little cluster, and then we're going to put all of this together. So for our cluster, each one of the check fire polish beads, the little rose ones, except for the 4 that I used here in the bracelet, the leftover ones, all going onto head pins and doing wrapped loops. I did them all in advance. We will do another wrapped loop today, so it's not like you won't see a wrapped loop, but I did go ahead and do all of these in advance, and there should be 7 of these left over. So we're going to use some jump rings to put these all together. We're going to take a single jump ring, and we are going to thread on a single check fire polish, and we're going to close that back. That's the bottom of our cluster. We're going to take another jump ring, and we are going to attach that to the previous jump ring, and we're going to put a bead on the left and then a bead on the right. We're going to close that jump ring, pick up another jump ring, attach it to the previous jump ring, and then same thing, a bead on the left and a bead on the right. Close that back, open another jump ring, attach to the previous. You need a bead on the left and a bead on the right. Always making sure that you're putting these on in a balanced way so that they will hang nice and balanced. It's not heavier on one side than it is on the other, right? To make a really cute little cluster, you're going to take one more jump ring to put on the top. And this top jump ring is just going to be the one that you use to connect this to your bracelet. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to lift you guys up because I have not given myself any room to get the tools underneath here. All right, now last step, we're going to open up jump ring, big jump ring, and we are going to thread on both strands. And I'm stringing through the simple loops here. Both strands of our beaded chains. Can add your cluster, right? And then I'm also adding a jump ring and my clasp. So this is also another jump ring that you can take off if you need to. This one right here. And then a jump ring to connect to the other side. So, and actually, I think it probably should have been the other way, but it doesn't matter. Put your jump rings on there however you need to put your jump rings on there. But that is our beautiful double strand. It's so romantic. And I think gray is underrated. It is such a beautiful color. It's a great bead color. It's a wonderful neutral. It works with everything. I love it. You can mix this with black. You can mix it with more pinks. You can mix it with red. It's just a really, really cool design. I love this design. We do it quite often. And I love that you guys love it because it's kind of become a classic kind of Sarah Lovecraft Designs community style. And I love that we do that. Everybody can recognize it. If you see somebody out in the wild that has on a bracelet that's like this, you're like, oh, you know, I have one of those too. It might look a little different. We use some different beads, but like it's cool. We can all identify with each other that way. And it's just a really nice design. And I've done it in a lot of different ways, but I do love the gray and the rosy pink. So pretty. All right, guys, moving on to the next. All right, next up for you guys, I have another bracelet that I think is a lot of fun. Now, this is where whimsical jewelry comes into play. We don't have to take ourselves too seriously. This is the coffee shop bracelet, or I'm sorry, the donut shop bracelet. And it is called that because this one has some really fun little elements. We've got a little coffee cup. I mean, I guess it could be a teacup, right? But we've got a little cup and saucer. Got a little enamel donut, and we have these check glass coffee bean beads that I am obsessed with. They're so fun. They are brown, but they have like this like shift to them. It's like pinky purpley. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but I don't know if you can tell. It's like pink, purple, gold shift to them. They're so fun. So I wanted to build a bracelet around this because I just couldn't resist. It's comfy, it's cozy, it's a fall color palette. It's just super cute. It's super cute. So these are the dangles, because of course I have to have dangles for everything. The rest of this is beautiful check glass. We've got some gorgeous melon teardrops and some fire polish with the AB finish and some little baby check fire polish and some metal beads. So we're going to put a pattern together, and then we're going to create a little leather section for this as well. So let's get right into that, shall we? We're going to do the stringing part first. Right? It is very cozy. I love cozy and fun and whimsical, and I don't take myself too seriously, and my jewelry should make me smile. That's me. All right, so I'm going to thread on my crimp, and I'm going to thread on my wire guardian. So up through my wire guardian, down through my wire guardian. India is in the house. Hello, how are you? We're so glad you're here. Welcome. We love it when people are introduce themselves and say, hey, always a fun place to hang out. So you're in the right place. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. All right, so making sure that our bead stringing wire is not crisscrossing inside our crimp. Okay, those beads running, or those wires running parallel. We're going to place this crimp into the back notch of our crimper tool. Give that a squeeze. And then we are going to turn it sideways, put that into the front notch of our crimper tool and give that a squeeze. That wasn't the best crimp ever, you guys. Don't judge me. Sometimes it happens, okay? We're just going to keep going. All right, so now we are going to string up our bracelet. So let me show you what the pattern is. And as always, I will move my fingers out of the way once we get a few beads on the bead stringing wire here. But we are going to thread on one of the small check fire polish. Then we are going to thread on a metal bead. Okay. We're going to do a larger check fire polish, a metal bead, and a small check fire polish. You've got two large metal beads. Set those to the side. I don't even remember what those, oh, I do remember what those are for. It's like, why do we have those? They go on our leather. All right, so that's this little section right here. Okay. Then we are going to thread on, wait, I did that wrong. Did I do that? I did do that wrong. Don't put your little fire polish on there yet. Put your teardrop melon on there. Okay. Then a metal bead. I forgot this was the section was bigger. So metal bead, check fire polish, metal bead, tiny check fire polish. All right. So this is our little beaded section here. Okay. And then we're just going to repeat exactly what we just did. Okay. So that means metal, check fire polish, metal, teardrop, okay, metal, fire polish, metal, little baby fire polish. Drop that down. Okay. Then metal again. And we're going to repeat our little pattern. So bigger fire polish. Whoops. My goodness. Big fire polish. Metal. Teardrop. Metal. Oopsie. There we go. Check fire polish. Metal. And tiny little fire polish. All right, there we go. Oh, did I do that wrong? No, I did it right. Second guessing myself. This is our pattern. Now, feel free to rearrange this any way that you want to. But that is our little pattern. I love the color palette here. I'm obsessed with browns and taupes and honey colors and topaz for the fall. So I thought this was a nice little color palette. We're going to go ahead and crimp. And then we're going to do the leather section of this. So we're going to pick up our crimp bead and our wire guardian. So up through the wire guardian, down through the wire guardian, down through the crimp, making sure those wires are not crisscrossing. Place that into the back notch of your crimper tool. Give that a squeeze. Turn it sideways, put it into the front notch, give that a squeeze, and use your cutter to trim off. All right, now, if you are looking to make a shorter bracelet, here is where I would do it. I would do it with the leather portion. I don't know that I would adjust the pattern too much. You can take some of the metal beads out, but I think the most effective and quickest way to adjust the length of this one is going to be with this section right here. So we are going to take our leather and we are going to fold it in half. Okay. And we are going to tie an overhanded knot somewhere, anywhere. And you don't have to cinch it down just yet. Okay. Don't cinch it down just yet. You can pull it so that it's not going to come undone, but adjust the loop section. This is where we're going to hang our dangles. adjust the loop section. If you need a bigger bracelet, make a larger loop. If you need a shorter bracelet, make your loop a little smaller. This is a great place to make any of those kinds of adjustments. Also, before you cinch this all the way down, okay, before you close the knot up, go ahead and take one of your jump rings, one of your larger jump rings here, okay, open that up, and you are going to thread that into your knot. So you can see where I've just kind of taken it behind two little strips of the leather that are going that direction. You can put it on this side too if you want to, but I like to put it on this side over here on the opposite side of the loop. Go ahead and close that and then cinch your knot down. And essentially you've tied your knot onto your jump ring, right? So you've got this little connection point. If you worry about this, you can always take a little GS Hypo Cement and put it down inside the creases of your knot on both sides. It will dry clear and you don't have to worry that your knot will come undone. Okay. So now you also have two large leather beads. I wish I had some leather beads. No. Large hole beads that you can put on the ends of your leather and tie an overhanded knot just to add little dangles to this if you want to. If your leather has been cut a little short, you may not be able to do that part. I'm going to leave these off because I need to put this leather back into somebody else's kit, but tie an overhanded knot and you've got some little metal dangles off of your fringe. If you don't like the fringe, leave this part off altogether and trim your leather short. Just be sure that you definitely add some glue. Okay. All right. So now you would connect this little jump ring here. You're going to connect that to one end of your bracelet. It doesn't matter which end. Okay. And you can hang all of your charms to this. So you have your little coffee beans, your coffee cup and saucer, and your donut. Jump rings on all of those. However, you do have to wire wrap these guys. So we're going to thread each one of these onto a head pin and we're going to do a wrapped loop. Coming in with my pliers, bend the wire over the top of the pliers. Take those pliers away. Come in with the round nose pliers. Going up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we're going to wire wrap in that space in between our loop and the top of the bead. Just like that. And then we're going to trim off, the excess wire, put a little jump ring on this guy, and then we will add those to our leather. Okay, so we're going to twist. Open a jump ring, thread on our little coffee bean. I'm going to attach that to our little leather section here, close that back. I'm going to add my little donut. Same thing, just add that to the leather. You can actually put these charms wherever you want. You don't have to put them in the exact same place that I'm putting them. You can pop those over in the beaded section of your bracelet if you want to. You could leave them off altogether, make earrings out of them to match this if you want. It's up to you. It's your design, right? I just give you the beginnings of something and then you can turn it into whatever you want. But I thought this made a cute little charm style bracelet. Right, so we've got all of our little charms. And then we're just going to put our clasp on the other side. So we're going to take another jump ring, add that to our leather section, put your clasp on it, close that back, and then your other jump ring goes on the other end with your wire guardian. Super cute, super, super cute. Turn that around. So you got, well, my leather's going in the wrong direction, but you get the idea. Sorry about that. But you have your little cup and saucer, your little coffee beans. It's just a cute little bracelet. It's a cute, cute bracelet. And it doesn't matter which direction the leather is going once you have it on. That just happened to be the way that I laid it down. But I do think this is such a pretty one for fall. And it's fun. It's whimsical. It's happy. It's cozy. Super cute. All right, so moving on to the next. I'm going to scoot this over. All right, let's change gears a little bit. You want to? Let's do something Halloween-y, and then we'll go back to fall. All right, so I have a little set here. They're individual kits, but they make a cute little set. So we have these bats. Now, remember, we had a whole conversation. It's so funny. We had a conversation about bats and squirrels, and I have both in the show today, which I think is fantastic. So if you missed that whole conversation, that was last week on Friday. But I have some bats here, some little sky puppies that eat mosquitoes, and we've all decided that we love as long as they stay outside and not in our houses. So we've got a little bat. He's got drilled openings here on the tips of each wing. We are going to create a fun little necklace here. We've got lots of chain involved for this one. So we've got chain for the length, which I'm going to show you how to do in a minute. But before that length, we're also making a little beaded chain section with some fire polish. So we've got some black and some red fire polish. It's going to go off of each wing into the chain. Okay, so we need to create that little section with each other, which we'll do here in just a minute. Then we are going to do in the front, we're going to do some little chain dangles because I do love dangles. So 2 lengths of chain dangles coming off of the wings. And then also a drape to go from one side to the other. Okay, so this is what we're creating. I'm going to show you how to do it. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to create our little beaded chain section. So I've got a black fire polish and a red fire polish on eye pins, simple loops, link those together. We're going to do the same thing with another set. So red check fire polish, and then simple loop. So we're going to bend the wire, come in with our cutter, trim, round nose pliers, grab the wire, roll back to create our simple loop. We're going to take that loop, twist to open, and we are going to thread on an eye pin. Oops. Okay, twist to close that back. On this one, do a black fire polish, and then simple loop on this one as well. So cutter to trim, round nose pliers for our simple loop. All right, so this little loop over here on this side, I felt it kind of pop open. Close that back. Okay, so you're going to make 4 of those. You're going to link 2 of them together on one side and 2 of them together on the other side with a jump ring, just to create a little extra space. It's kind of just a nice little visual breakup of the colors here too. So close that back. All right, so you're going to do 2 of those, 1 for each side of the necklace. And then down here, we're going to do some wire wrapping. We're going to take a head pin for each one of our small little black fire polish, and we're going to wire wrap these. And then we're going to do wrapped loops, and then we're going to attach those to the end of our chain with some jump rings. So I'm going to bend the wire. Coming in with our round nose pliers up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side. India, that is a wonderful question. When India says, since I am new, do you do bead weaving also? That's what I mainly do because loops and wire are intimidating for me and I can't be consistent enough. Well, I've got 2 things to say. First of all, practice makes perfect. This is a wonderful place to build your confidence when it comes to your wire skills, because you're not alone. You're not the only one who feels that way. I have people here in the community that have been with me for 15 years who still feel the exact same way about the wire, but they come here anyway because they know that if they ever want to build that confidence up, this is a place to do it, because I try to break things down as easily as possible so that you can really kind of like, stay on top of things and build those skills one step at a time. So if you ever feel like, maybe a little practice would help, you're in a great place for that. And this community is fantastic about building you up and helping you to feel good about it. As far as bead weaving is concerned, I do a little bit of bead weaving. It's not one. Let me put it this way. I love bead weaving. I do it in my personal life as a hobby. Peyote rings are some of my favorites. Right angle weave is my very favorite bead weaving style ever in the history of ever. I don't teach a ton of it because I feel like I am not as good of a teacher when it comes to the bead weaving projects, but I do every once in a while. So I try to keep things a little well-rounded here. On Fridays, we do a lot of stringing and simple wire with simple loops and wrapped loops. But during our Tuesday lives, using a jump ring here, by the way, to attach this to the end of one of our little chain pieces. On Tuesdays, we do a little bit of everything. We do simple knotting, we do macrame, we do stringing, we do simple wire. Sometimes we do bead weaving. It just kind of depends. I do a little bit of all the things, but I don't do heavy focus. So I think that you'll find that this community, there are a lot of bead weavers here. But I tend to not teach it because I'm not the most confident teacher, except every once in a while I'll get a wild hair and I'll teach something. I do love looming, so I will teach looming in simple bead weaving projects, but not anything super intensive. I mean, I would say you would probably find a better teacher in this community of that than me. And I'm not ashamed to say that. Not ashamed to say that at all. All right, so you're going to add your check fire polish beads to the ends of your chains here. And then we're going to flip this guy over because we're going to actually work on the back here with our jump rings to connect everything. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to take some 4mm jump rings. And we're going to thread on our little links, and they are different lengths intentionally, right? So you're going to thread those on. So 2 for each side, and we're going to close that back. I do not use sterling silver for kits. It is not cost effective to do so. Silver plated is what I use for everything so that I can create affordable kits for everyone. Plus, quite honestly, dealing with the tarnish of silver is just not something I have the patience for. I use sterling silver in some of my own designs, personal designs, but when it comes to kits, I don't. And I don't really push it either because it is very expensive and it is such a hassle to work with. I've just not ever really been nowadays the silver plating is so good. It lasts for so long. There's really no need. But you could swap any of this out for sterling silver if you wanted to. And when it comes to kits, a lot of times if I have a sterling silver element, I will put it in the description just so that people know, and I will call it out in the live. But just generally speaking, I'm not big on sterling silver. Okay, so now larger jump ring here. This larger jump ring has a big job. The first thing that we're going to do with this jump ring is we are going to thread it onto the bat's wing. Okay, and again, I have my bat turned around backwards. Okay, I'm going to thread on the beaded section that's going to go upwards. Okay, and I'm going to let that fall away from me. And then I am going to thread on one end of my chain. This is the chain drape. That needs to come to the inside. And then I'm going to thread on my jump ring that has my 2 dangle lengths on it. And then I'm going to close that back. Okay. And then before I move over to the other side, I am going to open up my simple loop on the top right here. And I'm going to thread on my length of chain and close that back. The reason that I have this pendant facing away from us is so that I can make sure that everything goes on the direction that I need it to. And then when we're done, we'll flip it back over again. Okay, same thing on the other side. So we're going to take our jump ring. We're going to attach that to the wing. We are going to take our little beaded chain that goes up away from us, thread that on, and let that fall kind of forward. Okay. Then holding that jump ring, take the drape section, thread that onto the jump ring, and then thread on your jump ring that has got your 2 dangle sections, and then close that back. Same thing, come up here, open up, thread on your chain, and then we're going to flip this over, and you can see how it's all going to hang. Now, obviously, it's going to look much better hanging on the bust, but that is what you've got. Now, feel free to leave out whatever you want, okay? You can leave the dangles off. You can leave the drape off. You can just do the bat with the beads if you want. You can do one drop, one of the dangles instead of 2. Whatever you want to do, you could incorporate these beads into the length up here and leave them off all together. Lots of fun ways that you could put this together, but this is our little whimsical bat. So this is our Dracula's Kiss. Dracula's Kiss. Let's hope Dracula was good looking. I mean, some of the descriptions of him were not great, but I'd like to imagine that he looks a little like young Brad Pitt, maybe young Johnny Depp. I don't know. Or maybe he's extra Southern and he looks like Matthew McConaughey. I'm okay with that too. I just don't want Dracula to be like monster looking. Okay, so let a girl dream. All right, so there's our necklace. Now, if you would like to create a little set, I've got a cute little pair of earrings that you could put with this. So I'm going to set this to the side here, and I'm going to show you the earrings. Super cute. Also, little bats. This little trapeze style design here that we're going to put together. Super cute. All right, so matching earrings to go with this. I have a cute little 3-hole connector, which you could use in a bracelet like I did with that Dusty Rose bracelet. Or I'm sorry, the Smoky Rose bracelet that we did. But we're going to use this in an earrings design here. So we're going to take eye pin and we are going to thread on 3 black check fire polish. Okay. And we're going to do a simple loop. Was he cute in the Dracula movie with Winona Ryder and Keanu Reeves? I don't remember. All right, so you got your loops on that. You're going to do another one just like that. Right? In human form. He must be good looking in human form. Do you guys remember Dark Shadows? Okay, so Dark Shadows came out twice, right? The original, like the old version, and then like in the 80s, I think. You can watch all of those on, I think you can watch them on Hulu. A couple years back, I watched both. I watched the original and then I watched the remake. Those were fun. Those were fun. But I can remember my grandmother when I was growing up, my grandmother talking about the original. Yeah, she thought he was Barnabas Collins. My grandma thought he was something else. Yep. All right, so now we're going to do the drop. The drop is red check fire polish on a head pin, and we're going to do a wrapped loop on it. I'm aging myself. I didn't see him originally. I watched him secondhand on Hulu. Listen, I also watched all of Gilligan's Island, and I didn't see those when they ran originally. I'm watching these as secondhand, you know. Thank goodness for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Exactly. See, that was more, Buffy was more my age group, I think. Maybe a little bit older, but not by much. Not by, like the cool kids, the older cool kids in my school. Listen, I'm not going to pretend like I'm a spring chicken, because I'm totally not. But all right, we're going to hook all this together with some jump rings. Let's start at the bottom. We're going to take a jump ring here on the bottom, and we are going to attach our red check fire polish. That one's going to go right here. Oop. Okay. Then we're also going to take 2 jump rings on the tops of the wings as well. So we're going to do jump ring there, and then we're going to attach one of our little beaded sections of our little bead connectors. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Right, Carol? It makes the cutest little set. And it's not super scary. It's just spooky cute, which is what we're going for here. We don't do super scary around here. Not when it comes to jewelry. We don't have to be scary with our jewelry. I like to save my scary for when I wear gaudy. Let that be the scary. That's the fun stuff. But it doesn't have to be scary jewelry. Like we're not doing blood and guts and gore here. We don't do that. All right. Then you're going to connect those 2 at the top with a single jump ring. And before you close it, we're going to thread on our ear wire. These are so cute, and it does make the coolest little set. So if you know somebody who loves vampires or just loves bats, because bats are cool, as long as they stay outside, right? We've all decided bats are cool as long as they do their job outside of our homes and don't show up in our bathrooms or in our attics or our chimneys. They can hang around and eat mosquitoes and spiders and do all those good things, but we don't want to hang out with them. Like, we're not going to invite them over to watch Netflix and order a pizza or anything. But there you go. Super cute little set individually in the Etsy shop. So if you want one or the other or both, they are there. But I thought they were pretty cute together. Love that. All right, moving on. We're going to change gears. I've got 2 more pieces of jewelry to show you that are not Halloween related. In fact, they're squirrel related, because I do love squirrels. Even though the one that lives outside my house is a psycho, we can still enjoy a little squirrel here and there. So I have some little squirrel charms, which I think are adorable. I have a pair of matching earrings, a little kit that is matching earrings to go with this. I'm going to show you here in just a second, but we're going to do the bracelet first. The bracelet is going to be put together the exact same way that we did our bracelet last week. This is just with different beads. So last week we did one that was a cute little house. This time we are doing a squirrel, a little pine cone, and a sunflower. And our beads are dark orange reds, honey color, topaz, and just pretty. And some red. We do have some red with these check glass leaves. Okay, a little pop of green to remind us that we don't lose all our green in the winter and the fall. We still get a little bit of it. All right, so we're going to do the little wire wrapped, or the little, the simple loop section first. So we're going to make 2 of these. So we're going to repeat this on an eye pin. We're going to take an eye pin. We are going to thread on a check glass leaf. We're going to thread on a daisy spacer. Then we are going to thread on a check glass druck bead in green, and we're going to do a simple loop. So bend the wire, come in with your cutter tool, trim, round nose pliers, and roll back for a simple loop. Okay, so we're just making a cute little connector here. And you're going to do 2 of those. All right. We are going to link these together with 1 jump ring. I was trying to decide the jump ring was a certain size. It is a little 5mm jump ring. I don't think it matters that much, but when you're looking at all the little jump rings, I think there's a 6mm for your squirrel charm. So just save the biggest jump ring for that. But we're going to connect these 2. I like to connect them at the green side, but you can connect those however you want to. Okay. All right. Then we're going to take, and I'm kind of doing this back. We're going to do the stringing part last is what I'm trying to say. So we're going to open up our the big jump ring, not the 6mm with our squirrel. We're going to open this up. Okay. We're going to thread on the end of our little beaded section. And then we are going to thread on our pine cone, put a jump ring on that guy, thread that on there. Then we are going to thread on our sunflower, also needs a jump ring. Okay. And then we're going to close this back. You can put your squirrel here too if you want to, but I saved my squirrel for the beaded section of this. So speaking of the beaded sections of this, now we are going to string up our beads. Okay. So we're going to take our bead stringing wire. We are going to thread on our crimp and our wire guardian. You're going to notice in this kit there's only 1 wire guardian. That's because on the opposite side of this, we will be creating a beaded loop with our seed beads. Okay, so down through the wire guardian and then down through our crimp. Make sure that your bead stringing wire is running parallel inside there. I love squirrels. I really do. But the one that lives here that wants me to move out, that's trying to bully me. I don't love that one. We have a crazy squirrel. He even has like battle scars. When you look at him, like he looks like he's seen a tussle or two. He's a crazy squirrel. All right. So we're going to thread on our pattern here, which is going to be 2 seed beads. And then 1 of our small check fire polish. We're going to do 2 seed beads. Another small check fire polish. It's beautiful honey color with that AB finish. So pretty. It's like my favorite bead for fall. Then we are going to thread on 2 seed beads. I'm also going to go ahead and thread on my squirrel. My squirrel is a nut for sure. Then we're going to thread on a larger check fire polish. And you'll notice that that jump ring with the squirrel, it's just going to sit on top of those seed beads, so it won't touch the bead stringing wire. Okay. 2 more seed beads. Check fire polish. 2 seed beads. Check fire polish. 2 seed beads. And now we're going to do our check center cut. Okay, so these are a little bit different shape, but they're this really cool kind of carnelian color, which is also a great fall color. So 2 seed beads in between each one of these, and you're going to thread on a total of 5 of these. Last week, the center cut that we used with our little Happy House bracelet, they were green. This week we're using this really deep kind of burnt orange color. I do love the center cut though. They add some really cool texture to the designs, and they have that really interesting finish that goes on the top and the bottom. It's almost like it's like a painted on bead cap, you know, which I think is pretty cool. Last of those, now we're going to do 2 more seed beads. Then you are going to thread on your crimp bead. Okay, so there's your crimp, and then you're going to thread on all the rest of the seed beads. So I think there should be like 23 or 24, whatever you have left. Thread all of those on after the crimp. So don't put the crimp at the end. The crimp goes on first. Then all of these beads. And we're going to make a little loop out of these. Guys, don't forget there were 2 earrings party kits in today's show, as well as 2 maker mixes. Now, I won't show those again at the end, but I don't want you to forget that they were a part of the show because they were pretty cool. All right, so now we are going to take the tail end of our wire and we are going to loop our beads around, right? By going back down through our crimp bead, and when we pull, it just creates a little loop for our seed beads. Pull all that down nice and snug, and then you're going to crimp, making sure the wires are not crisscrossing. Don't accidentally get your seed beads stuck. I have a hair attached to my crimper tool. One of mine, which is weird because it's usually like a dog hair, but this one was mine. I apologize. All right. Give that a squeeze, turn it sideways, put it into the front notch of the crimper tool, and give that a squeeze, and then trim off the excess. All right, so got this little beady section plus this little beady section. Let's put these together to create a fun little bracelet, shall we? So this big jump ring that we have our charms on, let's open that up, thread on our wire guardian. And then on the other side, we're going to do a jump ring and our clasp. Oh, thank you, India. I'm so glad you joined us. I hope we get to see you again. I hope you had fun while you were here. All right. And then you're just going to use your clasp to attach to your seed bead loop. And there you go. Cutie patootie little fall bracelet with a little squirrel on it. I think it's adorable. So cute. It's got some really nice fall colors to it. If you don't want the dangles, save them for something else or put them on a necklace. But if you would like to have a cute little set, I have a really simple little pair of earrings to go with this that I think are adorable. The squirrels are gray. I wish I had had more gray squirrels. I'll try to order some more because I really like the gray. But just a simple little pair of earrings to go with this. So if you want to grab both kits, you could have a cute little set. Super easy. So we're just going to take an eye pin and we are going to open that up. This is our last kit, by the way, and then we'll be done. We're going to thread on our charm and we're going to close that back. Right. Then we are going to thread on our check glass leaf. Okay, then we're going to thread on our crystal spacer and then our check glass druck bead in green, and then a little metal bead. You can leave the metal bead off if you want to, save it for something else. Do a wrapped loop and add our ear wire, and these are done. Super cute, very easy, just a little stack of fun things that matches our bracelet. You don't have to do both, though. If you just want the earrings or you just want the bracelet, you can definitely do that. But I think these are so fun. Again, just another little whimsical piece where, you know, we don't have to take ourselves too seriously all the time. I make so much sparkly princess jewelry that is very serious. So having the opportunity here on Fridays with our kits to kind of make some whimsical fun things that are not super serious is a really nice break for me. And I hope is inspiring for you guys as well. Because I do make a ton of serious jewelry in my life. So it's important to have balance. That's all I'm saying. Look how cute those are. I love them. Little squirrels. Much nicer looking squirrel than the one that lives outside my house that likes to come and bully me at my kitchen door. So there you go. Cutie little set of earrings and a little bracelet. Buy them together, buy them separately, whatever you want to do. I think they're a lot of fun. All right, my guys, my friends. And you're not all guys. I know that too. Please don't be offended. I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to take a look at what we have done today. And then I'm going to take a break, eat some lunch, reset, and I will be live again at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon over on artbeads.com. So if you want to see another fun project today that isn't a kit, it's just a fun project, I would love for you to come and do that. What is up with the camera today? It's just me. It's just me. All right. So let's take a look. Let's look at our Dracula's Kiss necklace. We only did one necklace today. I normally do 2 necklaces on Fridays, but I got on a roll with the bracelets and things. So only one necklace for today. So we shall grab the necklace bust and take a look. I think this one's really fun. It's cool. If there's a goth teenager in your life, or if your spirit animal is a goth teenager, as mine is, this was a great necklace. It's also just great for Halloween. I love it. It's fun. It's not super spooky. It's pretty cute. It's got some really cool structure to the design overall. And then if you wanted to turn it into a set, I did have the little, be helpful if I could hold everything together here. My goodness. I'm a mess, y'all. The camera today. There is the earrings if you wanted to do like a cute little set. I think these are fabulous. They're a lot of fun, and they're not super big either. I mean, they're not tiny, but they're not huge, right? Those are a lot of fun. Super cute. All right. And then we had other things. Of course, we had our little bracelet, our donut shop bracelet, with our little donut charm and our coffee beans, with our little leather section that this one definitely needs to be trimmed down. But again, I didn't want to trim it because it's going to go into somebody's kit. But the bracelet part with the beaded section, so pretty. So pretty. Then we had our Smoky Rose bracelet. This was the first bracelet that we did today. Certainly not a Halloween or fall necessarily. This is just an anytime, really pretty bracelet with a really cute little cluster on it. Our double strand with our lamp work and our rose colors. I love this one. It's so pretty. It's very romantic. And then we had our squirrels, because who doesn't love squirrels? The squirrels are fun. Super great color palette for fall. Some red, some orange, some brown, some yellow. Really cute. And then the little earrings to go with if you wanted, or separately. Absolutely love those. The gray squirrels are adorable. I love those so much. Super cute. All right, guys, that is it for me. Oh, and don't forget, I know I mentioned it just a second ago, but I'm going to mention it again. I'm going to mention a lot of things again because that's what I do here, because repetition, it's good for you. So, yes. Set your reminders for 4 p.m. Eastern if you want to see me again over on Art Beads. Let me show you what we're making today. I'm making the purple version of this, but I will show you the red version that is already ready. So if you want to come make some fancy jewelry, this is the red version. I am making the purple version today on Art Beads. So if you want to see this in action, come on over. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern time on artbeads.com. And as I mentioned before, there were 2 maker mixes and 2 earrings parties that were released today as well. Those are in the Etsy shop. I showed them at the beginning of the show, but if you missed it, they are over in the Etsy shop, as well as kits from previous shows and finished pieces of jewelry. Somebody's making coffee in my house right now and it smells so good. So I'm going to go investigate and see if I can con somebody into making me a cup of coffee too. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging with me. And if I don't see you later over on Art Beads, I look forward to seeing you next week on Tuesday at 1 p.m. We'll be doing Bargain Bead Box. So looking forward to that one. Cannot wait to go through that and create something fun. I love you guys so much. I'll see you later. If I don't, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Mwah. Bye.